Welcome to the Esoerotic Dark Feminine Magic podcast. My name is Crimson, creatrix of Esoeroticism, and I help mystically minded folks awaken their dark feminine magic. Welcome to the Portal of Enchantment. Welcome, Syreeta, aka Syren LaMage, to the Esoerotic Dark Feminine Magic podcast. How are you today, goddess?
I am doing so well, Crimson. Thank you for having me on. How are you?
I am fabulous and honored to be your first ever podcast.
Yes, yes. I'm excited that it's you.
Oh, I am thrilled. And I thought I would just start off with a quick little overview just to catch people up with where we are who may not be familiar with the backstory. And then I want to lead into you telling us all your juicy stories. So, but for those who do not know, I used to own a studio in Austin, Texas called Minx and Muse. And I opened it in 2017. In 2024, I decided it's time for a death and a rebirth, and I moved across the country. The studio was sold into new hands, the Triple Goddesses, called Vespertine, and where it was held beautifully for a year. But now we're on to a new iteration with Syreeta kind of stepping forward as the Coven Mistress and under a new name called Nocturna. And so, how amazing is that name, Nocturna? But so Nocturna, when we're talking about Nocturna and this and Syreeta Studio, you can just know that it's in the same location and evolved from the energy of what once was Minx and Muse. So with that being said, Syreeta, bring us back. So
Okay.
where did this well, how about we just talk about how we first met and how you even became involved with esoeroticism to begin with?
Yeah, let's do that. I found the studio when I was looking for a pole studio. I had been away from movement and dance for like so many years, and I had been a yoga instructor, but I was currently a human resources consultant. My identities were wife and mom and HR consultant. And I missed actually being on a pole. I am a former stripper. I loved like swinging myself around and um, thought that that was what I was looking for. And when I was looking at, different studios, I was living in Dripping Springs at the time. And I was looking at different studios and I was looking at, okay, what's closed and what's not, and how can I get there easily? And Minx and Muse popped up. And it was the focus on magic within movement that really spoke to me. And I was like, I'm intrigued. What is this about? So came to the studio. I sat and talked to an instructor the first time I walked in for, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes. And then took like a virgins class, a pole virgins class at the time. And then you and I met. And we did a private session together, and I knew that it was more than pole work, than floor work, that there was something within me that needed work, that needed like more of an inner healing, so to speak. And so I started coming on a regular basis. I probably spent, I remember you and I used to joke about how much I would buy in merch. But just spending so much time here, like really gave me what I needed to realize that I was in a situation that I didn't really need to be in. And I ended up taking a 2-week sabbatical from being wife and from being mom and not really understanding why I needed this break. But I knew that I needed one. I knew I needed to focus on myself and return to Syreeta. And I took these 2 weeks to do that. And swear, like within the first 2 days, I think it was, you, Crimson, reached out to me and asked me if I would be an instructor at the studio. And I knew right then, like, I don't want to go back to human resources consulting. I want to stop. I never want to go back into that world. I want to dive more into this world of sensuality and embodiment and magic. And that kind of like just began this new path for me. And so yes, instructor. And then I came on with the triple goddesses. That was also like hey, I need to do something new. And right then, as usual, the ancestors keep me where I'm supposed to be until the time comes for something new. And they kept me in one space. And then I got a phone call uh, about coming in, as one of the triple goddesses for Vespertine. And then
For those
now
who
here
don't
we are.
know, one of
Oh,
the
excuse
triple
me.
guys, just sorry to interrupt. Yeah, for anyone
Yeah.
who's listening who's like, wait, what does that mean? There were three owners of
Yes.
of the studio when I sold it. Yeah. So that's and then we refer to them lovingly as the triple goddesses. So you were one of the three owners that took over the studio
Yes.
in its new iteration after I left. Yes, yes. Go on, go on.
Yes. And so then we have now dwindled to me. And I am like super stoked to step into this role as Coven Mistress or Coven Keeper is where I tend to land of Nocturna. And I have, with the help of, as I say, some very powerful witches, just like reset the space, reset the energy in the studio. And yeah, so and here we are, here, at Nocturna. I'm sitting here now in space with my spirits and ancestors and
And all of that sensual energy
all of it.
swirling around from all of the classes and the students and the
Oh my
experiences.
gosh.
Well, oh my goodness, so much there. And two things really stood out to me that I would love to dive a little deeper into. One is, and I'm going to ask listeners and watchers to even pause and consider this. What are the labels that you are claiming that potentially are not the full breadth of who you really want to be in this world? So, Syreeta, I love that. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm a human resources manager. And I think so many of us are so defined by our roles with other people and our career. And I think a lot of people find this work, this esoeroticism, this sensual movement, this dark feminine magic, when they have reached a point where they are seeking themselves beyond their work, beyond how they serve other people, and to really reconnect with their feminine energy, their sensual and sexual energy, their
Mhm.
magic. Who are you beyond those labels? So amazing. And then you said that you took a break, and we talk about this in Magick. So you know all the time, if you don't leave space, how is the magic going to find its way to you? Where is it going to fit into your life? So the
Exactly. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the fact that you were open to the mystery. You were open to that. We always say the dark feminine is the
Mhm.
unknown, the void, the womb, all of this mystery. You didn't know what would happen if you took a break and if you took a pause and you took a
Mhm.
step back from how others identified you. But when you did, your intention, your devotion, the work that you've been doing, all of that gave space for you to magnetize something that was more soul level.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like when I was taking that break, and what, you know, I guess, drove me to take that break was I had just become so wrapped up in those three identities that Syreeta was like, who if you were to ask me back then, like, who is Syreeta? I'd be like, I don't know. Other than, my child's mom or, my then husband's wife, and that I worked for this company. And so as I was like, once I was on that break and once I, found that I would be an instructor at Minx and Muse and then started instructing, I realized then like what I love to do is, I mean, I'm a helper at heart, right? I have an energy that wants to support. And what I was I guess what I was missing and what I gained helped me figure out what path I needed to be on outside of being an instructor and outside of like movement. And that was the sensuality doula practice. And so once I, just started reading about it, like what is a sensuality doula? I was already a birth doula, right?
Oh, you
um,
were.
Yes, I was a birth doula and a postpartum doula. And I was like, no, that's not what I find when I'm working with anyone is it's the reconnection to themselves afterwards where they're struggling. It was the same path for me. And that's why I love being a sensuality doula. I do get to help people tap in to their inner dark feminine and like craft this magic that envelops them into um I don't know, I guess they're just more people lose this connection to their sensuality, and then when you like show them like no, it's there. It's not me. It's not, me bringing it out of you. It's just, I'm letting you know that it's there and I'm giving you the tools to bring that magic out of yourself. That magic is always there. It's always swirling around you. You just need to tap into it, um, grab hold of it, claim it. It's yours. And then express that in a way that feels good to you. So
We get
that makes yes. And so even with like within the movement that we do here, not just, doing like a one-on-one with me, it is every class that I do, it is something that I try to bring to whether, no matter how big the class is or how small the class is, when you walk in, if you're feeling a disconnection, if being in the space allows you to tap in and reconnect even just a small little way, then that's a success for you. That's a success story for you. So,
Yeah, I'm sure you hear it all the time. I've heard it all the time. Oh, I'm not a sexual person, or I'm not really a feminine person, or I'm not a sensual person. And you're saying, to hell, yes, you are. It's just
mhm,
something that you have to give space for, and you need to find a practice or a ritual or some kind of connection to it to evoke it. But it's not like it's a performance of something that you have to. And I love that's why you say the sensual doula. It's like you're you're birthing, right? Is that what that would mean?
mhm,
Like, or you're birthing this sensual, authentically feminine energy
mhm.
with yourself, expression within yourself, no matter what your gender identification. I know that that's irrelevant. It's 2025. And so all welcome. But the fact that you are aware of that and you seem to recognize that it's not going to be from you coming and putting on an outfit necessarily, or you just coming and
Right.
learn. You said, I thought I wanted the pole dance. Well, the pole dance is the tool, but it's not the magic.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little more on that and what is the magic and what is the movement and all of that juiciness?
Yes, yes. So one of the things that, we have said it at Minx and Muse, we say it here at Nocturna as well, is the pole is just a prop, We are the ones that create the magic. And we can use the pole or a chair or the floor as a tool to generate this magic, but it's, within us, and we are releasing it into the world. Um, and the way that when I'm teaching, and I feel like every single movement instructor here will do the same, is to make to give people the opportunity to move in a circle, to be messy, to take the hips like around and keep them. See, I start talking about it and I start moving. But to like start channeling that serpentine, syrupy, sensual energy and movement. And like I said, just be like completely free about it. It doesn't have to look the way it's supposed to look. Like, I don't give a shit about what it's supposed to look like, right? I want to know, what does it feel like if you are taking a big juicy dive, right? And you're coming down and it feels good for you to slam when you come down because you like that nice big jolt of energy, then do that. But if you want to like ease into it and just kind of like, I guess kind of snake your way down, then do that too. It doesn't need to look the way that mine does or the person next to you. It's how does it feel in your body? What is the music, like driving you to do? And so with, the movement that we teach, we do want to keep people from being hurt. So there are things that we will say. Right. Like you're coming down off the
You
pole,
guide,
please don't hang off of your, yes. That's
guide
one of my
towards
like constant.
safety.
What's that?
Said
Well,
you guide in a way that keeps people safe, but also allows
yes.
them the sovereignty of discovering and unearthing their authentic sensual expression.
Yes, exactly. And so, yes, we are going to, keep you or help you keep yourself safe. But ultimately, everything that we teach is an invitation, and it is an invitation for you to move with us one way or take the expression in a different way, in a way that feels authentic and sensual to you. And you just touched on it, as we are sovereign witches at this studio, we certainly encourage the freedom to express your sexuality in a way that just feels fucking good to you. And as long as that is not infringing on anyone else's space, then there are no judgments here. We leave the judgments at the door.
Yeah, as it says on the front door, which
Yeah.
is, here's the thing, people who may be new to this modality and maybe listening to this of interest of Nocturna may be like, what does that mean? So, like, how is this different? And I can express that it is actually so transformative, yet uncomfortable in the beginning
Mhm.
when you're not told to parrot someone, because we've been raised in a society that the the systems in control benefit from us just doing as they say and not feeling and following intuition, following internal guidance, following pleasure, knowing what pleasure feels like. All of those things can be really foreign when you start off. And so it may be even falling flat what you're saying if they're like, wait, that's that how is that different? It's actually quite unique the way you teach, as opposed to a lot of what people may quote unquote sell as sexual empowerment, which is follow and look exactly like me. Let's be a bunch of matching robots. Let's put on this outfit. And so just know, when you go to Nocturna, it's a self-discovery. It's a self-awakening, and that is so special.
Yeah. And we all come in with like different, or rather, let me say this. We walk to the door with different things in our backpacks. These are the things that we are carrying. And my goal with Nocturna is that when you walk into the studio, the you find a sense of, okay, I can leave that all out there. I am in my second home now. And from the time you walk in the door, there is somebody there to greet you and let you know you are welcome here. We are so happy to see you. Thank you for taking time for yourself today. Come on in. Come have a seat. Grab some water, grab some tea before you make it into the studio. Come sit in circle with the instructor or the other students that are, there for the class. And just know that this is a sacred, safe place for your exploration, not a place for us to show off how well we can teach or how well we can move. We are truly here as I like calling us movement guides, and that is what I've been leaning into more is we're just here to help guide you along the journey and not it's not a linear journey. There's a whole lot of curves here. We're going to throw some things at you that aren't going to work for your body, and you're going to say absolutely no, and then we're going to tell you good. We're going to congratulate you for saying no, I don't want to do that. I want to do something different. Or asking, is there something I can do different here? We're going to say yes, and then we're going to help you figure what that out, what that is. But ultimately we leave, I don't know that responsibility is the right word, but it's your body. We just encourage people that come to Nocturna to move their body and touch their body, feel their body in a way that resonates for them, not to like match up with the rest of the class, or to
or to bring home for their partner to, I feel like so many people, I'll never forget when we had like the water guy come in and say, what do y'all do here? And we're like, oh, we do like sensual feminine movement. He's like, oh, for like to dance for your husbands. And I was like, get out right now.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Like,
so you're doing sensual, sexual, erotic styles of dance. It must be to turn someone else on.
Yes. And it's like, no, actually it's to turn myself on. We are our biggest fans, so to speak. Or that is, that's my goal. That's my personal goal, is to be Syreeta's, I think Syreeta's the hottest fucking thing ever. And when I invite people to look into the mirror as we're dancing, there's a reason for that. It's like, I know it's not easy for everyone to make eye contact with themselves in the mirror or to look at a part of their body that they may not love in that moment, right? And so, but there's a reason why I say that. It's because ultimately you are the person who is going to love yourself so much and take care of yourself so much before anybody else does. I'm giving away my Gen X isms here, but the RuPaul of it all. If you can't love yourself, how the hell is anyone gonna, how is anyone gonna love you? I don't know. But point being, I find that when I am very much in love with Syreeta, because I honestly have moments where I'm not, but when I am just overjoyed with who Syreeta is, and I am dancing and I'm looking at myself in the mirror, it is not oh, look how good I look how great I did that line or how well I did that. It is, oh my gosh, I'm looking at myself as I'm feeling it at the same time. And I'm just so joyful that I'm allowing myself to move this way. And now I'm witnessing myself move in a way that society would tell us is too much. it's too sexual. It's too sensual. You shouldn't love yourself that much. You shouldn't want to look at yourself that much. And for me, it's like, I would love for people to think of themselves again as the most fire fucking thing to walk into the room always. Um, when you're dancing, if it feels right for you, turning yourself on. And, as we talk about with striptease, right? It's not striptease for anyone else. It is like feeling so good in your movement that you just want to rip your own damn clothes off for your damn self. And I think that really like encapsulates like the reason why we ask people to look in mirrors. But then there are some classes, Crimson, where it's curtains. It's
No
all about the
mirrors.
feeling. No mirrors. We close the curtains, and we just want people to move and feel and generate this like energy. And you start to feel that magic swirling around. And as others are dancing in their own, with their own swirls, their own tendrils of magic, um, I have found that I start to feel like, okay, now I can dance with mine, especially when I was just starting out here. It's like, oh, wow, this person is completely lost to themselves. That is something that I want to work on. And I have worked on it. And I, you know, I guess that is one of the goals that I just have for every single classroom is that you walk out feeling more connected to yourself and proud of how you moved and like, oh my gosh, that just felt really good. No, I did not do, they said to dive down with your legs open and I kept mine closed. And it felt so good to do it that way. And it felt good to change it up when Syreeta said to like, smack your thighs. I smacked my ass and grabbed it and felt it. It's like, yes, yes, do all those things that just make you feel good. So, yes. I hope I answered your question.
Yes. I don't even remember the question, but that was wonderful because what I think you're really speaking to is this idea of we're do people I think people find your work and my work based on some kind of, whether it's conscious or subconscious, desire to step into the taboo.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
want to experience an energy that they know is within themselves that has been repressed for one reason or another. And that is namely our sexual expression, our feminine movement and embodiment, and our dark feminine magic. All of these things that you and I both explore in our work. And you just gave voice to a lot of reasons of why it is the movement that is the magic, and how just as the pole is a tool, when we do our witchy workings, something like a candle or an incantation is just a tool. You want to speak more about how, or in general about your vision for Nocturna moving forward? And I know you and I have spoke about this. The movement is the magic.
100%. I would like, even like our cauldron or our community classes, um, every class at Nocturna will have movement.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I feel like when we are moving in circle, whether we are moving by ourselves, whether we are moving uh, as like a collective, we can generate that sacral energy. We can recreate or access, or like maybe it's always been there, but it just has never been tapped into. But um, we can like generate that magic just in our movement. We don't have to have anything else in the room. Um, we don't need music. We can just breathe through it and keep moving. Like the magic is within, right? So when you ask about the vision for Nocturna, what I would love to see is a true, instead of speaking about it all the time, um, I would love Nocturna to be a movement sanctuary
Mm.
for dark femme expression, for
Mm.
people who, for all, but also for those who don't always feel like this movement is for them, or that this is a space for them. I would like anyone that walks through these doors to know that they can tap into that dark feminine magic, whether, and it is feminine energy. It is not, feminine in gender expression. Gender expression is not important here. Or rather, it is not a,
Vibe
it's important, but it is not a, it will not keep you from coming into this studio. Um,
beyond
yes,
that.
all are welcome. Um, if you if you've never been here before, or maybe you've only heard about it, you will find that we are a very diverse group of witches, and that is very important to me, that all communities feel welcome here at Nocturna. And so that is, um, when I say, like, I don't want to just speak it,
Mhm.
I show it in how I talk in class, how I talk about Nocturna when I'm out and about and inviting people into the space, how the instructors, when they're speaking about Nocturna, who is teaching here. It is not just a, yes, all, like, everybody's welcome here. It is like, no, when you walk into the studio, you're welcome.
Because it's
From the time,
embodied.
with that.
Because it's embodied.
Yes, yes. It's on our walls. It's in our classes. So I ultimately just want people to come in, know that they're welcome, know that they are free to express their sexuality, however it feels right and authentic to them. Um, while we are not performative, we will witness and be witness, and to feel safe in doing both, um, and being both the witness and the and the witness, that there is safety in both, and that being able to just put your hands on your body, if that's all you can do that day, that's the joy, that's the victory, right? If going into deeper movements feels, like, oh no, I really, like, I want to grab something, touch something, it's like I'm just overwhelmed right now, then please do that. We have classes where we allow people to just, like, release all types of energy, and they're safe to do so. We have screamed together, cried together, we move together, we howl at the moon. And at least in all of my classes, at the end of class, we're like howling together. But we're having fun with one another. But this is work. It is inner work, and it's not something that is just going to come with one class. You're not going to come to one class and be like, okay, yep, I'm tapped in, I'm connected, I'm good. Like, no, yeah, maybe you came in and maybe you, like, nailed that fucking choreo, and you know what? That is brilliant. That's wonderful. Can you take it deeper? And that's what I'm inviting people to do. Not worry so much about leveling up, but leveling in, taking it inward, uh, and expressing that however they feel is right for them. So,
Well, that's Nocturna. Nocturna is the evening, it's the darkness, and it's
yes.
the depth
Mhm.
that one the depth of well of self that is
Mm,
endless. And so what you're speaking to here is embodiment,
right
whether
on.
right? And so I agree that it's a personal devotion. I think a lot of people want to read a book, they want to listen to a podcast, they want to buy an outfit on Amazon, they want to take one class and say, I've reclaimed my sexual sovereignty. I am, a dark feminine enchantress, whatever. And that is of the cerebral, and you're all about the embodiment, and this is why all of the things you're speaking to, the dance is the magic, because it is the modality that allows you to actually anchor in all of the work into your subconscious internal self, so it becomes your truth versus I read about it, I listened to a podcast
Mhm.
on it, I can talk about it. How many people can run their mouths about things but don't embody it? And as you said, that's something that you don't want to have to just say, "Oh, it's this and you're welcome," but that people to come in and say, "I feel it. I know this to be a truth
Feeling.
because I experienced it."
Yes. And one, if I may give an example
Yeah.
of that, when I say that this place is safe for exploration, we recently did a workshop and with the subject matter that some people have not felt safe exploring. And once we had finished, beautiful workshop, by the way. Uh, once we finished and we were going around in circle and just speaking to how we felt after experiencing it, um, the most common response was, I've always wanted to explore this and I've never felt safe doing so. And when I saw that it was here, I knew it would be safe. And I feel so much, even those who had practiced it before still felt like they could express even more because of because they were in the Nocturna, they were being held by Nocturna. And you know me, of course, I cried because that's what I do. Uh, but it it was I guess an affirmation for me that the energy, the things that I speak into the walls here, the ancestors and the guides that I call upon to protect this space, um yeah, that they're here, that I'm doing something right. I am
Yeah.
living up to what I envision for Nocturna. And I give myself grace. I don't, do everything right the first time. I need lessons. But that was like I said, it was just a true affirmation for me that the people that teach here, the movement guides, yes. Or in this case, the person who was leading this workshop is a person who is not just knowledgeable, but can give the information in a way that is aligned with the studio, that is aligned with Nocturna's vision. And any like one-on-ones that I do, any again, and I won't go backwards, but just like any classes that we do, it's like this is the space to create and to explore in, and you're safe to do so here. So, yeah.
I love it. I remember back when I, had Minx and Muse, my bestie, who is not in this world at all, came to visit, and she was a bit nervous to come into the studio for the first time. And she expressed after, she was like, honestly, I thought it was going to be just like a bunch of dominatrixes in like black latex suits walking around, and I was going to feel
Ooh.
so out of place because she's an educator, a teacher in schools, a mom, all of that. And she said, I feel completely comfortable with. These are just people I would see at the supermarket, or, at a PTA meeting, or at, at the gym in the morning or whatever. So if anyone has that, a lot of people hold themselves back from starting this work because they
Mhm.
believe they fit into a monolith of what society has told us the dark feminine is. And what you're doing is, and what we're doing is breaking that mold and rewriting that narrative of that we all have this energy to access. And it's for, if you are really feeling exhausted by systems right now that are the opposite of what Syreeta has been speaking to, that instead are saying you have to act this way, you have to believe this way, you have to perform in this way, you're here to please me. If you're feeling if you're burnt out, if you're exhausted from hustle culture, all of those things are attributes of the masculine and toxic patriarchy and things like that. And what Nocturna is offering is the respite to that. What is, if you want to revolt and be revolutionary in claiming a new energy on this earth, you have to embody it yourself. And so
Mhm.
we start with ourselves. And so, you just seem to have shifted so much from when you first stepped foot in the studio, knowing that there was something missing and being open to the mystery, to now really leading in a way where you are so understanding and empathetic to what people are coming into. So
Yes, and thank you for saying that. It is something I will never lose. It's just who I am, and um, I I love this. I love this work. It brings it brings me so much brings me so much joy to know that we've created this space, and I'm so this space, like, it holds so many different personalities, and so so many different people from different walks of life, and even through like the transitions, there's just this core group that really has really, like, not just been held by Nocturna, but in turn hold Nocturna.
mhm.
Our obviously I always get, when I start talking about staff, I start talking about staff and the members, and I yeah, to just know that they're getting their cups filled here, and in turn are, sharing from the overflow. It's exactly what I do. Um, I just outside here, you obviously, to help fill my cup, allows me to do what I do. It allows me to get in that car, at 7:30 in the morning and drive up here from San Antonio.
For those who do not
Yeah,
know, Syreeta does not live
yeah.
in Austin proper at the moment. And tell me that's a devotion to really wanting to change
Yes.
paradigms. If you were just at a yoga studio or a CrossFit or a gym, something like that, which a lot of people just confuse all physical activity as something that is
Mhm.
for like physical fitness and external shifts, you could find a
Sure.
lot places closer. But the fact that you choose to do that drive, it's
Yeah.
because there's really something that you couldn't, that it doesn't exist everywhere. And your cultivation of the energy and the devotion is beautiful. And I just think, I'm just sorry to interject. I just feel like it's so 2025. We're recording this in 2025, which has just been a year of reflection and death and rebirth and realignment and revisioning. And the studio, just as individuals have been moving through that, The studio's been moving through that. You've been moving through that. I've been moving through that. And what a cool place to kind of be coming out on the other side of like, oh, I have clarity on how this is really going to serve those who are
Mhm.
ready, which is a lot of people I think are also awakening and saying something's missing, and I need to find that missing part of myself that's been shamed or judged or feared out of me. So, yeah, there's so much I
Yes.
could say, but I do want to ask you, is there anything I haven't asked you, anything that you would love to share? Like, you do one-on-one work with the sensuality doula, but
Mhm.
there's also, I know, intro series and intro classes and all of that. So people,
Yes.
we'll share the website and all that, but what's on your heart that you feel like you would love to share, or you would love to maybe speak directly to someone who is like, okay, maybe this is for me?
Well, first I'd say come visit me. Come visit me live and in person. Yes, I will speak to exactly what you just brought up, which is I do one-on-ones, and I also do couples or triads, and just I'll do partner work. I currently work with the Dark Feminine. I I'll leave that there. Yes. I tend to start with the one-on-ones, and then if you would like to bring your partner or partners, you're welcome to. I also do private movement lessons. So breaking down, technique and, on the pole or on the floor. I'm actually going to be leading our Intro to Embodied Pole series that's starting October the 21st. That'll be a 6-week series. And so I'll be leading the next October session. Um, we also do the Intro to Eroticism series here. We're doing an intensive October the 18th. Yes, we will have an intensive then. But you can go to the website, you can check all that out. We also have other instructors who do work with, they do embodiment work as well as movement. They will give like pardon me, they'll help with movement alchemy and
Yeah.
yeah.
What,
um
let's tell them the website, because if someone's right now is like, all right, I want to read more, where are we
okay,
going? Where are we
yes,
setting up?
the website is nocturnacovenaltogether.com, nocturnacoven.com.
I love it.
Yes, and our Instagram, if you're looking for us on Instagram, is nocturna dot coven. That's
Yes,
our
and we're
handle.
working on me saying, Syreeta, I would love to see more on that. So
Yes,
hopefully
yes.
you will get a lot more love in, because I think it's helpful to see the movement. But what I love about you is just your words. I can feel the movement that I can expect when I come into the studio. And I know a lot of the work at the studio, like this is something we're saying, people aren't recording during these like private experiences and during these classes. That's which is
Right.
something you don't see. And I'm just as a side, you and I have a challenge in our work in that we don't allow people to record during our classes. So whereas a
Mhm.
lot of places have all these videos that they can share, ours kind of remains sub rosa, a little hidden, in that it's such a sacred experience that we're not allowing
Mhm.
people to set up phones with ring lights and stuff.
Right. Every so often, like I think we have a couple of classes, a couple of our pole classes that at the end, yes.
Yeah, after
But for
class.
the most part, no. The container is sealed, and then that energy stays here. It's like we want you to enjoy the experience. It's like going to a concert, right?
Yeah, put your phone down.
Put your phone down. Yes, and just move. move in the moment. Don't
Present.
worry about like, oh, did I improve here? Or, or I guess I can't tell people not to worry about it, but,
Right.
the intention is not to focus on, did I improve this line or did I improve this spin? It's, do I feel better leaving today than I did last week? I do, then yeah, I'm doing the work. Yeah. Am I feeling more tapped in than I did last week? Then yes, I'm fucking doing the work. And to me, that's what's important.
And is it spilling over to the to your life beyond the studio? To me, that's how
Yes.
I measure success. Okay, you're coming, you're investing in yourself, you're devoting to this practice, and you're showing up. Now, this should not be something that ends when you leave the studio threshold. This type of sovereign reclamation of your body and your sexuality and your awakening of your magic is useless if it just remains within the four studio walls. Take it
Right.
into your life. Start, we talk about the dark feminine, right? Start being understanding you have every right to set boundaries and standards, to embrace cycles of death and rebirth, to show up magnetic in vitality as the creatrix. That
Hmm.
is really, to me, the success.
Yes, I agree. 100%. When you can walk out and you've been able to express yourself in a class, um, you have that confidence to express yourself in your corporate job or with a relationship issue or a friendship issue, or even just a rude barista. I don't know, but you just
Yeah.
feel more confident and more powerful, and it's okay to use, I guess I want to say this correctly, but it's okay to use that softness. Like softness isn't a bad thing. Like being feminine is still powerful. There's power within that. When, you know, you are tapped in and you know what you can bring, and what you can call forth. And so, yeah, like taking what you have learned in class, not, oh, I learned how to do this move, but I learned how to say, I like this and I'm going to continue to do it. Take that out anywhere. To your
One
next concert, to an intimate setting. That is the gift that you just gave yourself. So,
It's what we were talking about, the embodiment aspect of it. That's what
mhm.
anchors it into yourself as a truth and a knowing and a transformation, is
Right
the
on.
embodiment of it. And so, yeah, you can't just compartmentalize that and leave that at the door, which is so beautiful about this work. Syreeta, I'm coming to Nocturna in November, and I cannot freaking wait to just see you in person, and to be in the space and connect with the witches. So this
Mhm.
is about me, this is about you, but I'm just saying that I'm so impressed by your vision, and I'm just so humbled to still be connected with you, and just so grateful to you for all of the work that you bring to the world in a time where it is so needed. And so thank you for sharing. And you're not off the hook yet, because I have three questions that I ask all of the podcast guests when they come on.
Okay.
So the first one is, what is a daily mantra or reminder that you have for yourself?
Ah, kind of piggybacking off what you just said about with so much going on in the world,
Mhm.
um, tending to the garden in front of me.
Ooh.
There's so there's so many things that I wish I could change, and a reminder to myself that I hold the power, or I am the gardener. This is my garden. I will tend to it. The studio, my child, my family, friends, all of my loved ones, this community is what I choose to tend to and protect. And I need to remind myself of that on a daily basis, not to protect, but that I can't protect, you know, or change, as on an individual level anyway, what's happening in DC or, you know, around the world. And yeah, so tending to the garden in front of me and helping those seeds grow. Like, yeah,
The butterfly effect is real.
it is. It really is.
Yes, I think that that is where true power lies, is focusing first within and then in
Hmm.
your immediate surroundings. That is
Yeah.
where we have so much influence, and people just dismiss that. They forget of how influential they are, um, in
Hmm.
that regard. So thank you for sharing that. That was lovely. Okay.
Thank
Second question. What is your favorite sensuous indulgence?
you. I feel like if you've been in class with me before, you already know. But
Ah,
I love a hot bath or a hot shower with a juicy peach, mango, grapefruit, orange, anything orange and sacral charging.
mm,
And it needs to be nice and cold because, I like that contrast of, oh, I've got this hot water. Oh, here comes this like drippy, cold nectar dripping down my body. So, yes, that is my indulgence. And like I said, if you've been in class with me before, you know already. Like,
you've
what are you
shared
going
it.
to do? I'm going home, and this is what I'll be doing tonight.
It's a perfect melding of the embodied pleasure and the magic with the sacral energy. So, chef's kiss. And final question. What does it mean to you to be living fully in your dark feminine magic?
That I'm not afraid to be Syreeta, and that
Mm,
being this sensual, sexual, Black queer witch is who I am, and it's that I'm tapped in to what is lighting me up, what is lighting up my what's driving my passion, what is driving my creativity, and that things that others may not approve of. I mean, that's not my problem. um and that it's okay to be Syreeta. That Yeah, in fact, it's more than okay. It is an honor to be in this body that I'm in and able to move the way that feels like delicious to me, to be able to describe things in the way that I do, um to love, as I said earlier, to witness myself and to put my hands on my own body and to be unapologetic about it. That is living to just truly embody the work that I do and live by the same principles that I try that I express, through the studio and through classes. To actually like live that way is what it would mean, or what it does mean to me to live in my dark feminine magic. I
literally,
hope that
you
answered your
embody
question.
the work. Yeah, it is. It can give someone a really clear understanding of why they would show up for themselves and to do this work in the first place. So, yeah,
Yeah.
if you know you're lacking that, everyone deserves that that unapologetic sense of self. So, Syreeta, so good. I love it. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this podcast. I'm going to put all of your links in the show notes. Any final last words?
I love you. Can't wait to see you. To everyone else, please, I do mean that. This is an open invitation. Come visit us. If you have questions or want to know a little bit more about me or Nocturna before coming to visit, I absolutely shoot me an email, hello@nocturnacoven.com. It only comes to me. And I am there to respond, to help you if you want to just set up a time to come in and visit the studio with me. I'm happy to set that up as well. We just want to invite you to come make some movement magic with us. Yeah.
Yes, it's a fabulous studio. It's a fabulous coven of guides and embodiers and the space cultivators. And so thank you, Syreeta. I
Thank you,
love you.
Crimson.
And thank you everyone for listening and watching. Mwah! Bye. Thank you for joining. Follow me on Instagram at crimson.minx and visit esoerotic.com to learn to live more fully and unapologetically in your magnetic power, sensual pleasure, and unlimited creative potential.